Okay, I'm going to still do the bottom first, I guess. This one's up over my head a little bit, but I can still reach it. Just concentrate on one or the other. You can do the top first or the bottom first. Don't try to do the whole thing at the same time. You see over here, there wasn't much of a crack at all. But I'm gonna wipe it on there like I did before. I'm gonna make it just the same as the other side now. Now instead of wiping off my excess here, I'm gonna wipe my excess off in the middle. If I have any excess, see right there, I didn't have much. Okay. It looks like right in there it depressed in because that was really a big hole right in there. So I'm just gonna kind of do that again. Wipe my tip off because it's still coming out. Some caulking tubes never do that. See, I just wiped it off and there's still more coming out, even though this has been depressed. And some caulk tubes do that, so you just have to kind of prepare yourself and just double check. The last thing you want is to put that somewhere and forget about it and then have it get all over your carpet, your flooring, whatever you have, you know. I've done it. Not a pretty sight sometimes. Okay. I've been needing to do this for a while. I noticed it 8 or 9 months ago and I thought, oh yeah, someday I'll have to get up there and do that. And then during the winter I looked at it and sure enough the ice was down here and the ice was built up, and as it was melting, I could see it traveling sideways. Well, that's going to prevent water from getting in there, and if I stick enough of it on there, it could help bond my cap to there. If you think your cap's loose, your concrete cap, this cap up here, this could help. This could help that. Okay, so it's doing two things in one, and it's making it look better, more better. Just filling in. I could have left it and seen if it matched, but it was two-tone, two different colors, because this grout was so old. It's got all kinds of white on it and some gray. Oh, I'd be hard pressed to get it exactly right. Okay, now I got one more edge to go, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, that didn't take me very long. How's that looking? See there, as it's drying, you can see the sand in it. You can see that's all nicely up there. It looks almost like brand new. See that? Here's the side you didn't see, all along there. And before you start patting yourself too hard on the back, make sure you take your masking tape off now. And I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. We're gonna see what that bottom edge looks like now, shall we? Come on. The trick is when you wipe it right down to the bottom of the masking tape, you get it nice and tight to the masking tape. You don't want to build up that edge, because then if you pull the masking tape off, it could kind of tear that edge, or you'll see an actual edge. Okay. I didn't think this was going to stick that well to the stucco, but it did. So you want to take that off when it's still wet. Now I'm kind of pulling down this way at an angle, and I can see how it's kind of taking that off. And if you see any little bit of it, you can kind of pull it down like so. Okay. Ooh. Let's just leave it right like that. See, if I waited for a couple of hours and I thought I'd pull it later, it could start drying, and you have an edge, a filmy edge, and as you're pulling it, it could start pulling beyond your masking tape. I've done it before. My loss is your gain. That's why I'm checking this right now. Okay. And this is just a few minutes after finishing. Okay. Make sure you do this. And I'm kind of pulling down at an angle instead of just rip like this, because if there is an edge, you could rip your caulking, believe it or not. I'm just kind of pulling it down. And if this is still wet, be kind of careful that it's not going to get on your wall or whatever. Here it's stucco, nothing's really happening. I see just a little bit there because there was an edge on that stucco. So when I put it on, it kind of went underneath the masking tape. And that's blended right into the stucco now. It's going to be, how did you put that on so nice, Joe? Looks good. Okay, so I'll pull the rest of this off the back side and I'll show you up close what it looks like when I'm done. Well, here's my masking tape all rolled up in a ball, ready to be thrown away. And it's just that detail that's going to make it look oh so nice and pretty. There's no way you could have put that caulking on this nice without putting that masking tape on there. And the little bit that was up, you just kind of push down, or else you would have had edges had you have waited. Doesn't that look sweet? I mean, that looks like the cap was just newly installed. See there? I don't really have to get my paintbrush up there or anything, do I? Other than for this crack. I don't know. I could use the same stuff for here, or I could use regular caulking. And that remains to be seen what I'm going to do there. There's a little crack in there, even see there. And on the tube, I didn't use very much. See, there's the bottom. See, I only used from here to about there. That's all I used. What was this called? Grout, sanded ceramic tile grout. And I guess the name brand is custom. This was natural gray. And as it dries, it's going to dry just slightly lighter. Color matches custom grouts. And you know, if I have any other caps to do, now's the time to do it, right? Because if I leave this sit for 6 months in the garage, let's say, and then I want to get it back out, I'm going to be hard pressed to think it's just going to spooge out of that end all nice with that small hole, because all of the tip could dry up, and then I'm going to have to cut this bigger and dig it out and poke and try to clean that out a little bit. So if you've got anything more you can use your caulking for, do it now, don't wait. There's a tip for you, because I got other caps, and I wasn't actually planning on doing any more. See this cap looks pretty good, doesn't it? Except there's a little hairline crack right in there. But see how this has failed? See that crack in there? I don't put something in there and fix that. It looks like somebody tried to patch this with a putty knife or something, and then it still came back, didn't it? Here's their metal outside corner to the stucco. It's just right there, and it's starting to rust even. So I'm going to have to get my paintbrush out and do something. So I'm going to have to caulk that, and we'll see under here. This is not too bad, is it? And I'll just have to look at all my caps. Here's another one, and see, this is like part of maintenance, and I can decide to do nothing with these, or I could recaulk all of them if I wanted. But I know I'm gonna have to get my paint out, and this rust will probably bleed through the paint over time again. But hey, do what you got to do. Here's some more, and I've got some other wall caps. But make up your mind, and I've got some other wall caps around the corner, so I'll check all those, and if I have to do any more caulking, I will. Okay. I hope you learned something on that caulking. That's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. And what am I going to talk about next time? I'll probably show you how to seal these stairs, and see how dry and light gray it looks. Well, when I get it sealed with clear sealer, exterior clear sealer, it's going to look like how the shadow is on it. It's going to be that color. And because these have never been done before, it's going to soak it up like a sponge the first coat. So usually I put 2 coats on, and in this case I might put 3. So I'm going to learn how to do that, how I'm going to put that on, what kind of paintbrush I'm going to do, and whether I'm going to use a roller, and how I'm going to cut it in and all that. Stick around, and I might show you. I'm still kind of looking at this, patting myself on the back. Look at that. Doesn't that look so much nicer? All because I spent a little time, used my masking tape, used sanded tile grout, ceramic tile grout, rather than regular grout. Pulled my masking tape off at the right time and blended it in. Got my tip cut really super small, so I didn't have a whole lot coming out at any one time. Okay, all those little things. It sounds pretty basic, right? But I can imagine how many people don't do half the things I just did to make that look right. They would have just, some people, or even painters, might have put it on there and just used their finger. Oh yeah, I can get that, and then they get it on here. Oops, and they forget to get it all, and they got it cut real big on the tip. Oops, and it gets all over the place. This looks like it's always been there. That's what I like to try to do. I like to try to match existing conditions whenever I can and make it look like I was never there. And I think I achieved that with this small little project.